Well, this is awfully dramatic, isn't it? It's just like when the Real Madrid fans thought they were getting Mbappe for ages, and then for one reason or another, he extends with the club, and all the fans get angry. Nico Williams has extended a new long-term deal at Athletic Club in Bilbao, amidst all this certainty he was going to Barcelona. Of course, a really high-profile winger. Spain international, won the Euros, is a great, tricky winger. Maybe a little bit underwhelming of late in terms of goals and assists, but he's an amazing footballer. Of course, he's besties with Yamal. There was all this cryptic stuff, Yamal posting that, negotiations are going on. Everyone saying, yep, we're trying to get him to Barcelona. You got Deco saying it. It just seemed like it was about to happen until Fabrizio Romano and indeed other journalists spoke about it as well. Barca fans aren't happy, but it would seem it's the club's fault from looking out in. Anyway, welcome back to Football Yannick. How you doing? We're going to speak about it today here on the channel. Really, really grateful for the continued support here on Football Yannick. We are on 18,434 subscribers at time of recording, so amazing progress. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you do like my commentary on football, why not subscribe, man? Drop a like and all that nice stuff. Alright, so yes, this seemed like the transfer that was bound to happen. The relationship between Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal for their country playing for Spain. Like I said, there were social media posts from Yamal sort of inferring that they're talking, the deal was going to get done, and then you've got content creator Gerard Moreno. I think he's a streamer. I've seen him. He's very, very big on, you see him on social media, Spanish guy. He essentially spoke loads. I remember when Raphinha was signing, I saw lots of stuff from him. There you go. He's got a Twitch account. He's, Lewandowski and stuff like that. He's got, I think he's live right now, Gerard Romano. I guess he's talking about, presumably about the Lamine Yamal. Yes. He interestingly said it's 150% done. Doesn't sound like the most helpful thing to say, does it? It's 150% done, and then it just doesn't happen. So Romano tweeted this or posted this on X. One day I'll stop saying tweet. Everyone still says tweet, right? Breaking: Nico Williams signs a new long-term deal at Athletic Club valid until 2035. He signed a 10-year deal. Athletic Club moving like Chelsea. My word. Nico Williams is 22 years old, so he'll be 32 when that contract runs out. The agreement includes a new release clause for 50% compared to 58 million. I think he's on it's best part. It's a lot bigger, the release clause now, essentially. Now, we'll get back onto this, but he says Barcelona deal is off due to registration issues. The old friend of Barcelona. It goes on to say on a different post, a quote from Nico Williams: when it comes to making decisions, for me, the most important thing is to listen to your heart. Like the Roxette song from the 80s, listen to your heart when it's in you. It was in the 80s. One for the teenagers. I'm here where I want to be with my people. This is my home. Unless, of course, I can go to Barcelona, then that will be my home. Firstly, yes, him and his brother play for them. There is clearly an emotional connection. It'll be churlish for me to suggest anything, and unfair for me to suggest anything otherwise. There's been they've released the video of that quote with Nico Williams saying it. So I'm not going to say, it's not like he's, it's a stepping stone club. He's clearly got an emotional connection. And let's be honest, let's be fair, Athletic Club pay big money. To the point where before this contract extension, Chelsea couldn't afford his wages. Arsenal were put off by the wages. And Arsenal pay big wages. We're talking serious money. And he wanted to, if he went to the Premier League, he'd want even a bit more than his huge wages. Of course, Chelsea were put off because Chelsea do an incentive-based wage structure where, you will get a bit more because you're currently in the Champions League, but it's you can get paid a lot if you earn it, but players often want guarantees. which is fair enough. I mean, you would, wouldn't you, in any line of work? Yeah, man. So all the Premier League teams were put off. I don't think he's got any interest in going to Saudi. He wants to have that left wing for Spain locked down for the next decade as well, playing again with Lamine on the other side. So he doesn't want to go and play, and he wants to stay in a very strong league, essentially. And you know, La Liga is broadly recognised as the second most competitive league in the world. So yeah, man, Athletic Club will be happy. They keep their guy locked down. His release clause is now much bigger. Much bigger. I think it was 58 million euros, 60 million euros, which is what, like 47 million pounds. Really affordable. But even at that bargain for that bigger talent, again, he's not scored loads of goals, but everyone can see the talent is there. Still, clubs are put off because of the wages. Now, so it doesn't. Does this mean Nico Williams is going to stay at Athletic Club for the next 10 years? I'd say almost certainly not. Because he clearly has the ambitions to go and win titles, and they don't look like winning titles. You know, they might win a cup or something, but they're not going to win Champions League, La Ligas and stuff like that. Or maybe they will in the next 10 years. Who knows? You can't forecast that. But do you know what I mean? At the moment, they're not like a super club. The only super club thing they are at the moment is the wages they pay their players, and that's because they generally, ostensibly, don't pay transfer fees. They sort of, like, you know, have sort of players from the area, essentially. Do you know what I mean? So, interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Barcelona fans very upset and angry. I find this, and obviously it's unfair to judge a fan base by social media reaction, especially on X. But yeah, there's really a lot of frustration. You know, where's his ambition from some people? You know, people calling him a snake. Yada, 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 yada. But the truth is, it says Barcelona deal off due to registration issues. That's nothing to do with Nico Williams. He's not snaking Barcelona in terms of his ambition, because he wanted to go to Barcelona. He wanted to go and play with Lamine Yamal. Heck, there were briefings a few weeks ago that he was considering to reduce his current salary. Now, we'd have to assume he's just got a pay rise for this new 10-year deal, but his previous salary that he was on, he was willing to earn even less money to go and play for Barcelona. So that, if anything, is dedication to Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? So it's Barcelona's registration issues again. It's just an absolute, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because you had the stuff with, you know, what's his face, Danny Olmo last season. I still don't, I think they managed to register him through like some sort of loophole-y thing, and towards the end, it's peculiar. You got Tebas talking about it all the time, the head of the league, about how they can't do this. It's fascinating, the situation at Barcelona over the last few years, you know, with Laporta and stuff, and financially, potential financial ruin, loads of levers, essentially mortgaging their future finances to basically buy players now, and a lot of expensive ones. Really interesting with it's worth mentioning and talking about as well, the stuff with Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper, because they're trying to force him out. They did it with Frankie de Jong, and Frankie de Jong's now one of the most important players for Barcelona. And they've been talking about him like that, and they want him to stay. You know, of course, they just won the title with him, and they played amazing football under Hansi Flick, scored loads of goals. Hansi Flick likes de Jong, but they were desperate to get rid of Frankie de Jong, to the point where they were trying to push him out, and the fans were turning on him for essentially picking up his salary and coming to work. Like, again, not all fans. There's difficult fans of all clubs and all, you know, and social media isn't the best, but it just goes to show, like, and this, I think it was encouraged by the club, this trying to, like, get out of our club. Oh no, now we like you, stay in our club. I'm not suggesting they're going to change their mind on Ter Stegen, of course, because they got Garcia, the young lad, in. They want to keep Chesney, I think. I have to double check that. But yeah, it's just drama, man. With trying to force players out, changing your mind on them, again, trying to force different players out. Trying to sign players, signing players but not being able to register them, trying to sign players but then not signing them because you're not able to register them, like Nico Williams. It is absolutely, it's crazy, and all the financial stuff still goes on, you know, and like I said, it's fascinating. Fortunately, they're a really good football team. You know, they've played amazing football. They've won the title. They entertained everyone. They scored lots of goals. So this on the pitch, it's okay. And to be honest, like, again, I'd love to hear from Barcelona fans, but from the outside looking in, Raphinha is awesome. Like, he's become an absolute demon on the left wing. He's got a great relationship with, Lewandowski, I guess. He needs to be replaced sooner rather than later. But, Yamal, and how old is Raphinha? Like, he's surely not even 30 yet, is he? I know he's not that young, but he's 28, bro. He's in his prime. He's in his prime, and he's just scored loads of goals and assists. Why do you need to replace him? Like, why do you need to financially ruin yourself even more to upset this guy and I don't understand it. I'd love to learn from Barcelona fans, why you need to do that. Why you need to. This guy's in form. He's been amazing. He's like one of the Ballon d'Or favorites, at the moment. He's 28 years old. He's in his prime. You want to push him out for a guy, in his early 20s rather than his late 20s. It's not even like it's Lewandowski for a young striker. Do you know what I mean? Like a guy who's 15 years younger than him. It's like 6 years difference between them. So it's crazy. I mean, I don't understand it, especially with the financial situation with them. But I'd be very happy to learn from Barcelona fans. If there's some watching, they can explain the situation to me. I think they're sweet, mate. They're good. If anything, they need a new striker to be, the successor to Lewandowski. But, wrong one. Let me know, though, down in the comment section. Thank you, as always, for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content, liking and subscribing. I do hope to see you back here soon, man. Enjoy the football. Peace.